Booba and the Underground Dwarfs. It's a warm summer evening. Booba and his friends are playing at the park. A huge slide towers in the centre, exciting the friends. Booba is the first to have a go and slide down. Whee! Sliding is lots of fun. Booba giggles and claps his hands with glee. He wants to do that again, but he's already had a turn. His friends want to have a go too. Lula, Mr. Beak and Noodle slide down the slide one by one as Booba watches before he slides down a second time. The friends love playing on the slide. Spike sits on a bench watching his friends. He's too busy looking up at the sky to play on the slide. He gazes up at the dark sky, lit up brightly with stars. Booba and his friends wonder what Spike is looking at. They all look at the starry sky when suddenly they see a shooting star. Then another one and another. Suddenly, one of the shooting stars dives into the yellow tube on the side of the slide. The tube flows, exciting Booba and his friends. Wow! How exciting to see that stars like to play on the slide too. The friends wait for the star to pop out of the bottom. They wait, and they wait, and they wait. But the star doesn't appear. Booba and his friends are confused. They wonder if the star is stuck. Booba runs over to the side and peers up the tube, but he can't see any star. The star has disappeared. Booba wants to know where the star has gone, so decides to jump into the tube to see if he can find it. Something magical happens to the tube. It suddenly grows and is now much longer than they remember it being. The slide seems to be going on forever and ever until he suddenly flies out of the slide, landing on his bottom. Booba looks around him and notices crystals glowing on the ground. They remind Booba of tall glass pencils. Booba looks around again and realises that he is alone. Am I really all alone here? Thinks Booba. Suddenly, he hears soft whistling. Booba looks up to see his reflection in a large, beautiful gem. He happily waves at himself. The reflection waves back. Booba cheers up, excited that he has a new friend. Booba runs up to the crystal and makes funny faces into the mirrored gem. The reflection in the gem doesn't respond. Booba is confused. Why isn't the reflection copying him? Isn't that what they're supposed to do? Suddenly, the reflection growls and makes such a scary face that Booba runs away, scared. The reflection giggles. It seems to like being scary. Booba runs through a whole forest of gems before coming to a stop. He is puffing and panting when suddenly something flies past him. Booba immediately turns to see what it is and spots a pebble. It has fallen from the cave ceiling and bounced off a small gem. What a lovely sound, thinks Booba. He flicks the gem with his finger and he hears the same sound again. Booba finds a couple of small stones and plays a whole melody on the gem. He wants to hear more. Booba begins to play with all the gems that he can reach. He is really excited by the sound they make and wants to show his friends, so returns to the mirrored gem. The reflection in the mirrored gem is happy to see Booba again and is delighted when Booba starts making faces again. He wants to play. Booba waits for the reflection to play too, but nothing happens. Until suddenly, he feels a finger poking him in the back. Booba turns around to see 1, 2, 3, 4 dwarfs standing in front of him. They all walk in a line heading somewhere, wearing helmets, carrying a large lantern, a pickaxe, a shovel and a chest. Booba thinks it's a huge chest. Wow! Booba wants to know what is in the chest and quickly follows them. The reflection waves after him. Booba follows the dwarfs. They come to an underground railway and board a small train made up of 4 cars. The train takes them on a journey through a long, mysterious tunnel. Booba really wants to go with them, but he's missed the train. Until suddenly, another train arrives. Hurrah! Booba boards the train and rides off following the dwarfs. Suddenly, a fork in the road appears. The dwarfs go to the right, while Booba's train turns left. The rails on the Booba's track spin and twist as if he's on a roller coaster. Finally, the train stops twisting and turning, and Booba can see the dwarfs in the train ahead of him again. Booba doesn't want to lose sight of them again. When a new fork appears, Booba manages to maneuver the car so that he doesn't lose sight of the dwarfs again. Suddenly, the train with the dwarfs stops and the dwarfs get off the train. Booba's train comes to a stop just behind them and he jumps out too. Oh, Booba has tripped and fallen over. He looks up and sees the dwarfs looking over him. They're curious about Booba. Who is this strange creature? One of the dwarfs offers Booba his hand and helps him up. The dwarf immediately hands Booba his pickaxe and invites him to join them. Booba stares at the pickaxe and doesn't know what to do with it. But he decides to go with the dwarfs anyway. He wants to know where they're going. They eventually arrive in another cave and the dwarfs get to work. One dwarf grabs a ladder and another climbs up it and begins to hit the cave wall with the pickaxe as hard as he can. A crimson gem immediately pops out of the wall. One of the dwarfs catches it and looks at it curiously with a magnifying glass. Satisfied with what he sees, he places it in the chest. Booba notices that the chest is already full of colourful gems. They shimmer and shine in the light of the lantern. So, that's what a pickaxe is used for. To find treasure, thinks Booba. What a useful tool. Booba walks up to the cave wall and hits it with the pickaxe. Nothing happens. Then he hits again, a little higher. Still, nothing happens. Booba hits higher and higher. He doesn't give up trying to get his own treasure. Soon, Booba is hanging from the ceiling, holding on to the pickaxe. He looks down at the dwarfs. Can somebody help me down? He giggles. The dwarfs bring a ladder to help Booba down. But soon, all the dwarfs are hanging from the axe. They're all too heavy for the axe, and suddenly, they all fall! But look what's happening. There are lots and lots of gems falling from the ceiling. Booba has made a giant hole and found lots of hidden treasure. The dwarfs look at Booba. He is their hero. They have never seen such a talented treasure hunter before. They all run round, picking up the scattered gems, thankful to Booba for his help. As their hero, they honour him by making him an official treasure hunter and gift him with everything he needs to become a great treasure hunter. And a medal! Booba is very excited, but As he is about to leave, his excitement disappears. There's a lot of stuff to carry, and it's very, very heavy. He's not sure he wants to hunt for treasure anymore. Why do I need treasure anyway? He thinks. The dwarfs decide to show him why hunt for treasure. They open the chest and take out the gems. They begin to place a gem into every crack they can find in the cave ceiling. They then dim the light in the lantern and ask Booba to look up. Above them, there is a beautiful starry sky. And yet, it is no match for the real sky. Booba thinks about Spike, Lula, Mr. Beak and Noodle. He remembers how they all looked up at the stars together and how they loved them twinkling in the sky. Booba suddenly misses his friends. But he's having fun with his new friends too and wants to show them the real sky outside. Together, they all build a long ladder and climb up out of the cave. Booba's friends are still at the park, waiting for him to come back. Booba calls out to them, and they get excited to see Booba and the dwarfs. Everyone sits on the park bench, and they all look up at the sky. The dwarfs love the sky. It's the most beautiful thing they have ever seen. They love their own sky in the cave. But there's nothing like lying under a real sky.